welcome to the next set of videos as part of our Home Ed Academy. And this series of videos is going to talk about social media and getting the most out of Facebook, Instagram and Pinterest. So you don't want to miss it. So the aim of this first video is to familiarise yourselves with Pinterest. Now, if you have never heard of Pinterest, you need to think of it as a virtual pin board. We have a Twinkl Home Educators pin board, and this video is going to go through with you the fantastic pins and ideas of how you can use Pinterest as part of your home ed journey. Now, if you've never ever heard of Pinterest, then do go check it out, but a little bit of a warning, and that is once you go down the rabbit warren of Pinterest, you never come out because it's full of amazing ideas. I personally love it for cooking ideas, but once you start, you can waste a good few hours on it. But let's get started and let me show you the Twinkl Home Ed Pinterest site and how you can use it for home educating. And if you need the link, it's down in the comments below. So let's get started. So when you first go onto Pinterest, this is the screen that you get. Now yours won't look like this because of course it is there in order to show you your pins and your interests. So this is the landing page for me. So at the moment, as you can see, there are lots and lots of pumpkin and autumn art because at the time of videoing, we were in autumn. But what I'm going to do is take you over to the Twinkl Home Educators Pinterest page. Now, as you can see on Pinterest, there is a little button here for you to follow our page. And that means that when we put up new pins, you can see those and you get notifications of them up in this top right-hand corner, a little bit like Facebook. Now, if you go onto the created section, you can see there's lots and lots and lots of different pins and lots of things. And sometimes people look at this and go, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be looking for. This looks like a real jumble of resources and I'm totally confused. Well, don't worry, because what you really need to do is click on Saved. And this will take you through to a board that looks far more organised like this. You can see that there's all of the pins that have gone up so far, but what is far easier is to look at these topics. So these are almost like pin boards in their own right. This is a really good place for you to pop and have a look and think, oh, I'd really like to do something new. I wonder what they have on Pinterest. So as we were talking about earlier, we have autumn here. So if we click on this pin board, you can see that there are the pins that are on here so far. So for example, here is some autumn mindfulness colouring. So if we click on this, because that looks pretty cool and you think, oh, I like that, you can click save here. And this saves to your board so that you can come back to it at a later date. And if you look here, here is your pins and this is the pin here. So think of this as your own pin board. So every time you see something that you like, you can click save and then it will pin to your own board. If I didn't want to do that and I just wanted some information on this, if I click it, then the really cool thing about this is it takes you straight through to the Twinkl page and there you can see the resource in question. And we have these for all different topics and you need to check back. We're continually adding to these. So for example, World Space Week, if you look at the pins here, there's a whole thing about women in space for Key Stage 1, women in space for Key Stage 2 and women in space for Key Stage 3, and also some really great pins. So a pin to the video that Samantha did, a rockets lap book, a space lap book creation pack. And if you click on the ones at the top, so if I was looking for women in space for Key Stage 1, again, these things open with great resources that I can use. So I might think this looks quite good, so I can click on it. And don't forget, if you click save, it goes into your own pin board. But if I click on the resource, it takes me straight through to our Twinkl website for you to find those resources. And don't forget, if you go back to the home screen and think, oh, I don't know where any of those pins are, you're looking for your initial in the top right hand corner. If you click on that, then these are the pins that you have saved. It is really, really useful. So just to talk very briefly, once you've found all of those pins, you've found some things that are exciting, how to organise your homepage. Well, as you can see, when you click on your initial at the top right-hand corner, this is your pin board. If you look for the little plus sign here, it enables you to create your own pin if you wanted to pin your own things to your board, or it enables you to create your own board. So if I was going to create a home ed science project, I recommend you keeping this board secret, so it's just for you, you can create it. And then when you come across any resource that you think, wow, I really like that, so actually it even comes up with some recommendations, you can pin those to your board. So you can click save, this will automatically go through to that board. If you want to save some of your pins into a particular board, you can click on this little down arrow here, and then you can save it. So if I wanted to save it in my science project, I could save it there, and then when I go back to my home ed science project, you can see that that pin is there. This is a really, really great way of populating ideas for the future. And even if you feel overwhelmed by creating your own boards and pins, it can just be used as a place for you to rock up and get some ideas of future project work for you to do at home with your children. But also it's a great place for you to get ideas that other people have done. If you get to grips with the pins and the boards, it was a really great way of managing all your ideas for your home ed journey. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight into Pinterest. It's a great thing to use, even if all you're doing is looking for some ideas for some topics. You're having a bit of a week where you can't think what on earth to do. Head over there, there's some great pins there to help you with planning and to showcase some of the amazing resources that we have at Twinkl. Join me in the next video to look at Instagram.